Today I'm watching the Twilight Zone Season 1, Episode 7. We know from the previous episode, the way that it ended, that this episode is going to be about an asteroid, something like that. So I'm very curious to see more like sci-fi elements involved, if it'll take place entirely in outer space, if an asteroid is coming to Earth. I don't know what direction they're going to go for. But I really like that they have those little previews at the end of the episode from our host, writer, Rod Serling. So that's great, as it kind of gives a little sneak peek. And again, I know this would have aired on TV, so that would have been a draw for people to tune in, the next week, especially with an anthology series. Each episode is going to be different. So what's next week going to be about? So yeah, I'm very curious to see where this is going to go. I'm really enjoying the show so far, especially for a first season. Can be a little hit or miss, but they have come out of the gate running. Like, they are just knocking it out of the park. And yeah, I'm really enjoying this series. It's been so good so far. So thank you so much for sharing in this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for TV shows you think I should watch, please comment below. And if you want to have a say in what movies or TV shows I watch, be sure to join Patreon. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content.
Stretched to infinity. The dungeon has an inmate.
Okay, where are we going? Interesting.
Stretches as far as the eye can see. Because this particular dungeon is on an asteroid 9 million miles from the Earth.
What? I love it. That's so weird, but I love it.
A man's mind and body shriveling in the sun. A man dying of loneliness.
Yeah, no kidding. What a crazy form of punishment. Well, we're not going to put you in jail. We're going to send you on an asteroid. And that's it. Oh my gosh. That's absolutely nuts. I can't believe that. That's such a cool idea. My goodness.
Things for me. Like you brought in the parts of that antique automobile. I was a year putting that thing together, such as it is.
I guess you'd have free time, you would have time on your hands, so...
Can I believe in myself anymore?
What a crazy, concept for, loneliness and isolation. You're in the middle of nowhere. Oh, there's a supply ship. So it's not like you're stuck, our usual version of jail is that you're stuck in a cell and you can't go out. But yeah, I'm guessing it really looks forward to the supply ship. And yeah, they brought, put together a whole car. Oh my gosh. He's just so excited to see a person.
Here 4 times a year. That's 8 months out of 12, Corey, away from Earth. Sometimes my kids don't even recognize me when I come home.
Oh my gosh.
6,000 miles from north to south, 4,000 from east to west, and all of it just like this.
That's insane. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Now we have to stay here at least 14 days before this place will be in position again.
14.
He's like, that sounds great to me. Sign him up.
Hey, look, we can play some chess. I built a chess set and everything.
Let's go in.
And yeah, it's such an interesting perspective from the supply people, too. They have to hang out with this inmate now, because he's just
One game of cards, huh?
Listen, we just don't have the time.
Hey, we've been here 2 minutes already, and he hasn't asked about the pardon.
Yeah, okay. What crime did he commit? Also, so many questions.
You're out of luck, Corey. The sentence reads 50 years. And they're not even reviewing cases of homicide. You've been here 4 years now.
Oh my gosh.
Every morning when I get up, I tell myself this is my last day of sanity. I can't stand this loneliness one more day.
Yeah, it would be a weird form of torture, for sure. You'd have no one.
Mr. Corey got a broken leg or something?
You go ahead and do what I tell you. Now.
Yeah, this guy seems to have taken, a little bit of sympathy on him, but...
The big one. You treat that one gently.
It would be a weird, can you imagine your job is to go bring things to, people who've been convicted of homicide?
There are still a lot of people who believe me, and it happens to be the truth. I killed in self-defense.
I know. I know all about it.
Okay, so he actually believes that he's,
This isn't an easy assignment to handle. Stopping here 4 times a year and having to look at a man's agony.
Yeah, nobody wins in this situation,
I gotta go now. We'll be back in 3 months.
Oh my gosh.
Have a good trip back. Give my regards to Broadway.
My heart. Oh my gosh.
I'll see you in 3 months.
This guy. 3 months for the rest of your life, like 50 years. My goodness. Maybe there's a spaceship in that box that can take him out of here. I don't know, but...
I don't much care what's in it. But for the thought. For the decency.
He's like, yeah, you're the only one who's like somewhat nice to me, and he only has 3 people to talk to. The other 2 hate him, so... Oh my gosh. Humanity. I'm really enjoying this episode. It's a crazy concept, but I'm really curious to see where we're gonna go. That Frankenstein monster lady friend situation. What are we? What's gonna be in the box? The dramatic zoom in. Is it just an empty box?
You are now the proud possessor of a robot built in the form of a woman.
Oh!
Intent and purpose, this creature is a woman.
He did get him a lady friend. Okay, but a robot.
Physiologically and psychologically, she is a human being with a set of emotions and a memory track.
Oh, why do I feel bad for the robot?
My name's Alicia. What's your name?
Get out of here.
He's rejecting his lady robot friend?
I don't need a machine. Go on, get out of here.
Where's she gonna go, buddy?
My name's Alicia. What's your name?
Oh my god, this feels like an episode of Black Mirror, which I know came much, much later, but things are so weird.
It'll get warm just sitting there.
How would you know?
I can feel thirst.
Yeah, and the fact that she has thoughts and feelings and emotions and...
You're a machine, aren't you?
Yes.
Why didn't they build you to look like a machine?
I was gonna say, I almost like that she looks like a human, like they
They
didn't...
got a metal with bolts and wires and electrodes and things like that.
Yeah, they didn't try and make her some, like, physically outside a robot.
It's a lie.
Yeah, I don't... Is it better to be by yourself? Do you fall in love with the robot because it's all you have? But the robot also doesn't have a choice, but has feelings.
This isn't real flesh. There aren't any nerves under there. There aren't any muscles or tendons.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, obviously she's programmed to simulate these feelings.
A hunk of metal with arms and legs instead of wheels.
Oh my gosh.
Doesn't mock me the way you do.
She didn't ask to be here, bud.
A reminder to me that I'm so lonely I'm about to lose my mind.
And she can cry, obviously. Oh my gosh. Do you just forget? Like, do you just try to ignore the fact that she's actually a robot? Like, what do you do? Such a crazy concept. You know, this guy's like, I'm gonna help you. You know, you want someone just to play checkers or chess with, and the fact that, you know, he's like, I'll bring you somebody.
Each day can now be lived with. I love Alicia. Nothing else matters.
But isn't that supposed to be part of his punishment? Is that he's supposed to be, you know, stuck out there lonely? But obviously that guy, you know, thought it was self-defense.
He's the only one that ever comes close. They stop at the other asteroids and they come here.
Yeah, and like how many other people are out there like this?
Corey! Corey, we got good news for you.
All the sentences have been reviewed. You've been given a pardon.
What? Oh, he gets to go back.
In exactly
15 minutes.
20 minutes. We can't wait any longer.
Oh my gosh. He's not gonna want to go back.
They would ever make it back.
Allenby, what did you say?
A pardon. Corey, they've
He's
granted.
not gonna want to go.
It won't do any of us any good unless you get your stuff together and get ready to move out, Corey.
You can't take Alicia.
Boys, we only have room for about 15 pounds of stuff, so you better pick up what you need in a hurry and leave the rest of it behind.
Alicia.
15 pounds? I don't have 15 pounds of stuff.
He's like, I built an entire car. I can't take that, though.
A ledger book, a pencil, and a pair of shoes. That car they can keep.
He's like, Amazon refuses to deliver to this asteroid, so I have nothing.
There won't be any next, poor devil.
Good. Good, I'm glad of that.
Yeah, it sounds like they're reviewing this whole program.
Alicia and I are climbing to that ship of yours, and we'll look out the port, and we'll give it all a big kiss goodbye.
Why do I think you can't take her with you?
Oh, my dear God, I forgot her.
He's out of his mind.
Who's Alicia?
Yeah, they're not supposed to know about her.
Problem now, Corey.
Problem? There's no more problems. There's no more problems on heaven or earth.
He's gonna stay, I think.
Climbing that ship of yours, and when we hit that big, beautiful green earth...
15 pounds.
They don't have room to take her.
Corey, our ship is stripped right now. We only have enough room for you and that ledger and that pencil of yours. Now, you're going to have to leave that robot behind.
She's not a robot.
What does that mean for her, though? Oh my gosh, she could feel...
Boys, don't you understand?
No, you don't understand. She's not a robot. She's a woman. Alicia!
He's just so convinced, obviously, and I think he kind of had to convince himself that she was real to survive this loneliness.
Alicia!
Come on, Corey, please.
Where'd she go?
Alicia!
I'm very curious to find out where they filmed this. Like, where is just naturally this rocky?
Alicia, show them.
I don't have any choice, Corey. I have no choice at all.
He's gonna shoot her? She feels pain.
No!
Oh my gosh.
Corey. Corey.
Now she's just stuck on repeat saying his name. This poor guy.
Corey.
Oh my god, robot face. He blew her face off. Cheese and rice.
We've got to go now, Captain.
We will go now. Come on, Corey.
What a roller coaster. This poor guy.
It's like a bad dream. Nightmare. When you wake up, you'll be back on Earth.
It's like, I have nothing to go back to. You killed my lady.
That's right. All you're leaving behind is loneliness.
He had a little life here. Oh.
I must remember to keep that in mind.
Oh my gosh. Bye, Alicia.
But now obsolete in the Twilight Zone.
Oh my gosh, what a grim way to end it. Cheese and rice. So that was my first time watching The Twilight Zone, Season 1, Episode 7. A really great episode. I'm just obsessed with this series. It has absolutely blown my expectations. I had heard nothing but good things about this show, but it's just so well done, and this episode definitely had more of a sci-fi component. We're on this asteroid, and it didn't say what year this takes place when he's writing down in his journal. I thought, he says year 4, which is the year of his sentence that he's in, but I thought they were going to be like year 3000 and whatever or something like that, but I don't know that we needed it. I'm just more curious because it's always fascinating to me what people in the 50s and 60s thought the future would have looked like, how many of those elements actually came true. Obviously, we don't send our convicts to asteroids, but yeah, just the ideas and the creativity that they would have had. But again, I don't know that we needed it. I was just more curious. And even when we see, he's on this asteroid, nobody's in really spacesuits. They do kind of have their, uniforms that they wear, but they're not our typical, astronaut spacesuits. They're not worried about the oxygen or anything like that. They're open and breathing freely, whether that was for just the convenience of having an actor not wearing a helmet or costumes or expenses, I don't know, but it still worked. And even the pieces that they were wearing looked pretty timeless. They were pretty simple, just the suit with the belt, and even Corey just has his shirt and pants basically. It doesn't feel like oh, that outfit I could definitely tell was from this decade. And I like that they keep it simpler so that it could be the 50s, it could be, the 2000s. Like, they just kind of give it that space. And whether that was done intentionally or that was just kind of what they had, I don't know. But yeah, really crazy idea. And we have this shot of the spaceship landing to bring the supplies. And we have seen another episode deal with the concept of loneliness. But I just love that they took this idea of prison, which I think to most of us, our minds would think, the cell, this bar door slamming, you're confined, and completely reversing that, being like, okay, you're alone, but you have all the space in the world. You can't go anywhere because you're on this floating rock in space, and you can walk and walk and walk for hours and hours and probably days if you really wanted to. I don't know if it's more hoping that when the inmates are out there by themselves that they will either walk out of boredom and die from the elements, because it did seem very hot. There was a lot of scenes where the actors were visibly sweating, and I don't know where they filmed this, where they found like that rocky landscape. Let me know in the comments whether the intention is to send them so far away that they don't really care what happens to them. And obviously they bring them supplies. They're not trying to, slowly let them starve to death or anything. But again, this loneliness, Corey has no idea when the supply ship comes. He just said, in 3 months. Like, is it 3 months to the calendar day? And even when they're there for like 15 minutes, like, you have 15 minutes of human interaction 4 times a year. Like, what? That is just crazy. And that's his punishment. Like, instead of just locking him in a cell where, he would still see people, he would still interact with people, and this, you're completely isolated, but in a very different way, as opposed to being like, physically you have all the space you need, you're just isolated, mentally and emotionally, because it's just you out there. He spent a year building a car because this Alan B character felt bad for him, and it does sound like he believes that it was self-defense, so brought him, these parts so he could slowly build a car. But like, the car's not coming back, obviously. The car's staying out there. But if Alan B hadn't done that, like, that, what would he have done for that whole year? He's bringing him books and like stuff to do. And obviously when he brings him Alicia, he's like, I'm really not supposed to do this, because again, his punishment is supposed to be this isolation. And clearly he thought it was self-defense and wants to, takes pity on him. But yeah, obviously this would happen for multiple criminals. I don't know if they were going to stop the program. It said they were kind of reviewing it and they weren't sending anybody else up once they brought Corey back. I was kind of hoping we would maybe get a Corey on Earth shot, and maybe just that realization that he's here, he's back. I'm sure that's going to be a whole thing. And I didn't think he was going to leave Alicia behind. I did feel like it was pretty obvious that they weren't going to take her back. I don't know. They didn't really discuss what robot life is like on Earth. If robots and humans dating is accepted, if it's not accepted, what is that like? And if he brings her back, are they going to be like, where did you find her? Because obviously he's not supposed to have her in the first place. You've been convicted of this crime. We're now going to punish you to just being by yourself with your thoughts. And again, like, you'll have food, you'll have water, you'll have all the things you need to survive. Just mentally, you're going to be so alone. And there's such a crazy form of punishment as well. And again, you're on an asteroid. You're not even in like a really remote part of a country where you could just somehow find your way back. If you really tried, there's no hope for him. Like, he's stuck on this thing. And to hear his struggles with this, and he's so excited when he thinks somebody's coming, and him and Alicia have this relationship, and the fact that she can feel things was so crazy, and that they're that advanced with robotics. Obviously she looked like a human. I'm glad they did that. I think it would have been really hard for Corey to accept it if she would have looked like, like we saw at that end, the last shot when her face was revealed and we see the mechanics and the gears underneath. I think if she looked like that, he would have just avoided her the entire time and would have ditched her the first chance he got. But the fact that they shoot her right in front of him also, and he's just like, okay. I thought he would be a little bit more heartbroken. Maybe it was when he got back and it hit him, but like, he did not want to leave her behind. Obviously, they don't have enough room to take her back with them. And he's fully convinced, she's a woman. He's yelling, she's a woman. And maybe mentally he had to go there to be able to talk to her and not just be constantly thinking, oh, this shouldn't be right. This shouldn't be right. You're a robot. And yeah, just a very, very interesting episode. And that Corey and Alicia are out there for almost a year. Like, it's not like, a month or two. Like, they had some time to spend together. And, he even says that she saved his life and that he probably would have done something if she wasn't there, and he wouldn't have lived long enough to get this pardon that he wanted so badly. So yeah, it was interesting to see like a love story as the main focus. Obviously, he's this convict as well, so you have that element to it, and we did find out what his charge is, but that he's claiming self-defense. But still, 4 years, almost 5 years in, he finally gets to come back, as opposed to just sitting in a cell waiting his trial or whatever it would be. And yeah, a really crazy concept. I couldn't imagine a world where that was a reality. But that's what I love about sci-fi, is they get to explore these things. Like, could this happen? Would this be a good idea? Is this a bad idea? And this, relationship with the robot and using loneliness as punishment as well was a really crazy concept. Overall, I really enjoyed this episode. It's been such a great series so far. This episode was one of my favorites that I've seen. And we had the whole episode took place on this asteroid, and now Corey is just going off to live his life, I guess. And even Alan B tells him, like, hey, don't think about this, like, just pretend this never happened, basically. And Corey's like, okay, like, what is going on? I'm glad we got to see some of the mechanics in the gear. Like, that reveal was interesting, and I didn't know if they would show it. And even when he's doing, the pan of all Corey's machines in the car, and then we just see, Alicia's legs, they don't show it again other than that one shot. But I'm glad they did show that, because I think Corey needed to see that to kind of snap back into the reality of she's not a human woman, she is in fact a robot. Because like I said, I think he had kind of tricked himself into thinking that she was real because he needed to, and maybe that's why he didn't get as upset, because he remembered, oh right, it's a robot. I'm glad they didn't just leave her out there to starve also, because again, she can feel things, and that would have just been a whole new level of horrible. Even Corey says it's murder. So really great episode. I'm really enjoying the series so far. Very curious to see where we're going to go in the next episode with this actor, and then we've had a previous episode with an actress as well. So yeah, I'm curious to see if there's going to be more sci-fi elements, where we're going to go. But thank you so much for sharing in this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for TV shows you think I should watch, please comment below. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content. Okay, what crime did he commit? Also, so many questions. Yeah, they he put together a whole car, like, oh my gosh. He's just so excited to see a person. 3 months for the rest of your life, like 50 years, my goodness. Is it just an empty box? Oh, why do I feel bad for the robot? Why do I think you can't take her with you?